So my task is to introduce the next speaker, but among these many people who've been in this school far longer than I have to introduce myself first. I'm Cliff Jones, and I only came to this school about 11 years ago, which makes me a real new boy in Newcastle. It's my very great pleasure today to be able to introduce Algirdas Avizienis. Al has a very interesting and varied career, being a professor in two different places in two different continents at the same time. Born in Lithuania, which I want to come back to, he did his PhD in University of Illinois. Like all good people, he did the PhD after he'd been out and done some practical work in the real world. He was working at JPL, and during the time he was at JPL, he established a position at UCLA and was on the faculty there. He played a major part in forming many of the organizations which unite the people in dependability. So the IEEE Technical Committee on Fault-Tolerant Computing and the well-known IFIP Working Group 10.4, which there are probably more members past-time members in the room than there are members today of that group. Among other things I was worked on is multi-version or N-version programming, and I know some people in the audience who have fun discussions and views about that topic. But Al never forgot his Lithuanian origins. He worked with Lithuanian students, Boy Scouts in California, but after a while saw the opportunity to reopen the National University of Lithuania, Vytautas Magnus University, of which he became the founding rector in 1990 and stayed as rector until 1993. With these broad interests and being a professor in two continents, he came together with Brian in many ways, one of which is the famous 5-language book which John Rushby just referred to, and I have a copy of here if anybody has never seen it. I actually have Tom Anderson's copy here if nobody's ever seen it.
I've written my name in it.
That's what they're like in Newcastle. So, without more ado, I'll hand over to Al for his talk.